truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool. City lights shining so bright. Fine dining lights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
Good YouTube, another Deathlizer show, bringing to you the truth that is ruthless. Today's topic is women don't want to see men happy. They don't want to see us happy. Because if they want to see us happy, they would do things to make sure that our happiness is secure. But what do? You know, they come in and they do things to make us unhappy, right? They argue with us, fight with us. After that, we done paid for, you know, these dates and all our time together. And all they have to do is complain, right? All they do is complain about everything, but show appreciation for the things we do. Exactly, Rock to the show, y'all hit the like button. Right. They never want to just see us happy. They want to see themselves happy. They want to see us miserable. Because this is what I'm saying. All the money that men are paying up front and all the time we spending with them, a lot of men are giving up their options even. You know, it may not be a lot of options, but some dudes got maybe 2, 3 girls they talking to before they meet you. And then after we give up all options, say, okay, we're going to make you the only one. Next thing you know, we're miserable. What happened to the first 90 days? What happened to that first 6 months when we were so happy together? When we were at the top of the world, we want to conquer the world. But then as time goes on, you start making the relationship all about you. Everything becomes about you. All the meaningless arguments. You crying about things we can't control. You know, you're accusing us of doing all these bad things, yet you have no proof. You just don't want to see us happy. Because if they truly want to see us happy, they do what it takes to keep us happy. Just like when they go to work to make their boss happy. Right? When they go to work and make their boss happy, they do what it takes. Whether they got, you know, work extra hours. Facts, Rocky Rock. Yeah. These women, they don't, it seems to me that they're coming in to make our life miserable. And this is the even crazy part about it. Their expectations are exceedingly high for us. You know, they expect us to pay for this, help them out with their bills, fuck them good, make sure their coochie is outstanding. Then to top it off, they want us to be psychoanalysts, therapists. On top of that, they want us to be faithful, loyal. On top of that, right? They want us to be rich, famous. On top of that, I could go more. They want us to love their family members, accept their family members. On top of that, they want us to deal with their baggage. They want us to deal with their inconsistent behavior. That's a fucking lot, man. And that's just too much for any one man to do. They want us to do all this stuff for them, but they can't do the simple stuff we ask from them back, right? And our list is way shorter. Our list is way shorter, right? All we want is you to be a bad bitch, be a supporter, show appreciation. You know, and that's pretty much it. Don't argue with us. Don't be non-combative. That is pretty much what men. That's what our expectations is. We really just want you to be a bad bitch, and don't argue with us. Show some appreciation. Now, every now and then, we might want you to be a little hustler. You know, we might want you to, you know, most men are average, so we might want you to get a little part-time job just to chip in, but it's not because we really just want your money. We're just looking for, you know, it may help the future of the house get to the certain point, right? We want to get to the big picture, retirement plans, kids' college. So, yeah, we might have to have you be a little helpmate, right? A little bit. We don't need you to go out and get a career. We just need you to go out and get a part-time job maybe and bring a little extra income in. But it's not egregious. But we don't need you to be a therapist. We don't need you to be our happiness. We don't need you to be our peace. Right? We just want you, when we come home, just to enjoy it, pleasurable. When we're around our woman we love, we want it to be a pleasurable experience. We do not want a hostile environment. Nobody wants, you know, their woman to come up to their woman and walk into a war zone. No man wants that. Nobody wants to leave the streets of dealing with, you know, all this drama and all this stuff in the streets and then come home to deal with it. It's just too much. But I'm convinced that women don't want to see us happy. And the reason why I say that is because they tell us, well, after all the stuff we put up with them, all their baggage, we can't have no extra coochie. Oh, you cheater. Blah, blah, blah. That means they don't want us happy, because if they really wanted to make us happy, right, that would be something they would, okay. It's only a fair exchange, no robbery. Well, I got a video that we're gonna look at my boy Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce says, you know, you need to cheat on your wife to see if she loves you. And this is what it's come down to. And we know Paul Pierce, you know, he's a successful man, and former NBA player, former NBA champion, you know, and he's struggling out here in the dating market to the point to say that even as a rich man, the only way to see if your woman truly loves you, you got to cheat on her. Because other than that, there's no way to tell. The love is an action word. And obviously the women that he's been dealing with, they've been causing him great discomfort. You know, he's provided lifestyle. He's provided for them the things, you know, he's a high value guy, right? And the women that he's been with are obviously, you know, they're not meeting their expectations of making him happy. Because why? Women only want us to make them happy. They don't want to make us happy. They want, it's a one-way street. That's what it is. Me, 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 me. That's all. It's all the amount of time they got. They want me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Well, baby, what you gonna give me? I'll give you this coochie. And we're gonna look at this video and we're gonna examine this. And this is why I believe, that women, they don't want to see us happy.
So right now, Paul is going viral because he said, and I quote, that men need to cheat on their women to find out if they really love them.
They need to cheat, like as in, because cheat means deceive, right? So you need to go outside. Like there's open relationship where your girl is very much aware you're gonna have other women, right? But why cheat? Why not just say right now we're still dating, but I'm gonna explore other women? That to me sounds like manipulation.
It is sound like manipulation, to be honest. But like how, like say a man in my position, say like I meet a girl, I know her, she know who I am, she understand my background and all of this. How do I find out if she truly loves me for me?
But how do you find out if you truly love her by cheating on her? What is that?
I you know what? That was the only thing I could come up with. And I know there's more things, but cheating, people, it's such a broad a thin line into cheating too, because people all don't.
And I understand what Paul's saying. Because he's probably trying to figure out, like, damn, I did everything I was supposed to do. There's women that I've been loyal to, shared my resources with, made sure they was okay, and they still was very demonstrative. They're still very, they weren't making me happy. They would still want to argue with me. They still want to be in contention with me. And he's a man of very great means. So he's been retired for like 6-7 years now. So he has plenty of time to spend with one woman and be with her. And that just isn't happening for him. Because the rich man, and this is the curses of being rich. Because the more money you got, the less chance, the more hard it is to find out a woman who really is for your personality and your character. Right? And this is the curse and blessing of having a lot of money. And this is why Paul's on the hunt. He's like, man, well, he's so frustrated with his results of all the women that he's come in contact with over his illustrious career. He's been married, divorced. He has a family man. And the fact of the matter is, all the women that he's dealt with come up short. All the women that he's tried to build a healthy companionship with have coming up short because he all figured out that they all just wanted him for his money and his fame. And this is the talking point of what I don't understand when men say, don't lead with your money. Well, how the fuck do you meet somebody? How do you deal with a woman if you're not going to pay or to have time with them? Right? There's only so many walks in the park. It's only so many free things you can do. Right? Most women are not going to even continue to deal with you if all you're doing is Netflix and chill. Because then they're going to be like, why we don't ever go out? Why you don't ever take me nowhere? Because the thing of it is, gentlemen, women will measure their relationship through other relationships, through the lens of social media, through the lens of other people dating other people. So you have to come in hot. At least, what's up? Yeah, you have to come in hot. There's no way you're just going to meet a woman that you desire and like to build with, and you're just going to be doing everything free for the next 2 years, 3 years. That's insane, right? You can't do it. Women are coming in with expectations, looking for a provider, and because you know why they're looking for a provider? Because all women, to some degree, are gold diggers. All women, to some degree, are gold diggers. This is why Paul is lashing out. Hey, cheat to see if she really loves you. Which we know that doesn't, even if she take you back, she might keep you because she has a good lifestyle, or she might just be into you for that moment and your money. But that doesn't prove anything. But the point is, I understand what he said. I understand he just said, I don't know what else to do anymore. See, men, we understand our role in the society, right? We graduate from high school, right? During that course, we may play some sports or something to see if we, have some potential. Then we make the assessment, right? Well, maybe I'm not that good at this. Maybe I'm not that good at that. And then we start the journey of, okay, what's the best way to make a living, to be have a house, car, and then after we have all that, then look for a wife. So we understand that 80% of our value when it comes to just a basic lifestyle derives on economical efficiency. We understand this. We understand. We'll see a woman, she a bad bitch, or she a very attractive woman, and we'll pass her up because we know that we're not in position to really court a woman like that, because we know that comes with a price. We understand this as men, that if we're going to date a woman for potential or intentions, or even just for sex, whatever you want out the deal, 9 times out of 10 is going to cost money. Now, if you just want to hop over fences and have sex with ugly girls and fat girls who you don't want nobody to see you with, you just want to go and get a nut. That's the only, who wants to do that, right? Who wants to live a life like that? So most men want a woman who's attractive. Also, they want a woman they can show off to their friends, their family. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is my girl. Whoop whoop. So, we understand our position when it comes to coming in, getting this woman, and taking care of her. We understand that it is our job and duty to take care of our women. It is our job and duty, if we want to potentially put on an interview for a woman, then we understand that we have to show that, through, action, which is, picking you up, chivalry, all the shit that men do. We understand that this is how we do to cultivate or to hopefully have a stable lifestyle with a woman that we love and have children, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Facts, Rocky Rock. Facts. Women don't, they husbands go not to have husbands, right? Yeah, the wives, they not looking for husbands anymore. They're looking for, women are looking for the gold at the end of the rainbow. Those back in the days, 1970s, 50s, women were looking for men because that's where the money was at. No, so they had to get married, though. They knew they had to get married to these men to get access to that money, right? Because just a lot of women weren't allowed to hang out. There was not a lot of places women could go to meet men with money back in the day, right? Even though they always had prostitutes, but typically was just a lot of places. Then the 70s, the club scene, the 60s, late 60s, and the 70s, the club scene hit off. You know what I mean? When the heroin epidemic, the club scene hit off, and a lot of dudes were going to clubs and meeting girls, and that's when, you know, women start having more and more access to men. And in the 80s, 90s, y'all know what it is. And now here we are, 2025. Women now are saying, you know, we don't really need men the way we used to need men. Right? And they are looking at men now as a business perspective. That's why they don't want to make you happy, nigga. That's why they don't want to make us happy, because they're looking at us as a business perspective. Meaning, nigga, if you're going to come in and make my life better financially and spiritually, or I could do the shit by myself. I go work at a strip club. I go work at OnlyFans, Figueroa. I go get a job in corporate. I go be a nurse. I go do this. I go do that. I don't need a man to get money in my life. I need a man to make my life better than my money. And if you can't do that, then there's no need for us. And this is why they don't want to do the things to make us happy. They feel entitled. They feel entitled to having their freedom. This post, 41 black women made 144 black men fathers and 192 kids, none married. It's one got 8 kids by 8 different men. Yeah. But that's going to continue to happen. That's always been that way though, right? You know, even back in the day, right? Maury Povich exposed a lot of women were getting pregnant, having babies, and then 5 years, 6 years down the line, find out that the husband wasn't even the father of at least 2 or 5 of these kids. So women have always been letting their coochie go, letting niggas pump and dump in them. And this is what they desire. But we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have social media back then. So it was kind of word of mouth. And, you know, some women were very good at keeping it on the low. Other women, proximity, right? But it's not for us to fix what they messed up. No. Right, Rocky, right? We don't know. It's not our job to fix. Listen, to gentlemen, it's over. Men gave up their leverage with all the motherfucking R&B songs. I say the 80s, early 90s. Men gave up the leverage into women. Started singing to them, started telling them how beautiful they are, but we give them the world. And then in America messed up by giving women the voices. And now here we are, 2025. The women are running the game. I hate to say it. They're dictating the market because there's too many men that are not getting the woman they want. There's too many men that are not getting the woman they want. And because you have a lot of men that are not getting the women they want, a lot of these men are thirsty. You know, they're willing to pay astronomical amount of money just to be in the presence of these women. So the guys who have a little bit of swag, who have a little bit going on, you're expendable now. So this is why they're not going to do what it takes to make you happy. They're not going to chase you. Now they might go, if you're a rapper, they might chase you, or an athlete, they might chase you, because they figure they got a better chance of getting money from you, resources. But they're chasing the rappers because they think the rappers are the ones that can make them happy with all the resources they got and the fame. They're not chasing the rappers to make the rappers happy. You see what just happened to Blueface. Women are not chasing the athletes to make the athletes happy. Via Travis Hunter. Women are chasing the rappers and the athletes for them rappers and athletes to make them happy and cater to them. That's what they're doing. The women, when they chase men, they chase that man down so that man can make them happy. And this is why you see a lot of athletes, rappers get divorced, getting in bad relationships, toxic relationships, because the women are coming in hot. You gonna take care of me, boo? What's up? I'm not here to make you happy. I came to you so you can make me happy. And this is why you really don't want women chasing you. This is why you don't really want a whole bunch of women chasing you. Because if a bunch of women are chasing you, are giving you action, or you deal a lot of them, they want you to make them happy. They're not chasing you. Oh, let me go make this guy happy. Let me go make his life better. Let me go make him the man he's supposed to be. No, that's not what women want. They're chasing men because they think they can convince him to make them happy and give them what they want. This is why you hear the rapper saying, Lil Durk said, giving them titties back. Because these rappers, when they get with these women, they say, hey, you gonna do my body? You gonna give me this, you gonna take me shopping? That's their intentions. That's what they're on. So don't feel jealous because all the women want the rappers and the athletes and the actresses. Don't feel bad. They're actually doing you a favor, homie. They're actually doing us a favor. Because now they got to put up with all that shit these women taking them through. Tyrese, right? These rappers are cursed when all these women chase them. This is a curse, not a blessing, nigga. So, average man, don't feel bad because all these women ain't chasing you. Don't feel bad at all. Because you don't want them to chase you. Because when they chase you, they coming to take from you. They're not coming to give you. You don't see these women coming to these rappers and dropping off all their money to them. And here, you see all the drama. You see all the chaos. These niggas is having babies with these chicks, and these babies ain't even theirs. Blueface is successful. He's status. This Krishan chased him down. And once she got in, she started fucking everybody else. That's what they do. They use that rap guy to get in that door. And then they start looking for somebody else to fuck. They're looking to replace him immediately. These women don't want to make us happy. They don't want to see us happy. Because that's not what they're here for. And that's not what they're there for.
Automatically think sex. No.
Right.
It don't have to be a sexual encounter. Like, just, I don't know if it'll be intentional, but unintentional, like, damn. Maybe
but let me give you some real talk. Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like, that's just real talk. You became who you are. Right. Everyone that's attached to you, like, that's your essence, you know, so you almost just have to accept that to a certain degree. You're not really going to know who's there for you unless you got into a position where you're really down and out. Let's say you lose it all and then you have no money, no fame. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to know if a person's really about you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I mean, you are who you are. Like, everybody's working to attract, like, girls go to the gym to look cute because they want the best of the best. Yeah. So it's almost like you're never going to know that. Just God, dogs, and your mama.
Something.
Huh?
And you know what else it is?
Yeah, you have to go through something.
I think, too, tell a woman the truth and let her truly see who you are.
Right.
That's how you know if anyone loves you, when you can see me for the person that I am.
Maybe
my
not
worst
cheat. Maybe
day.
if I, like, lose my legs.
Maybe if you lose your money and you broke.
Or
Maybe if
lose-
you ask
if
her,
I
maybe
lose-
if you call her and say, babe, I don't got it this month. Can you help me pay my bills? How about that? Like, not everything has to be attached to. I mean, if she can't afford it.
She out of here.
So
Facts. Only way you gonna find out these women love you when your money's all gone. when you broke, it ain't no joke. That's bad, man. Other than that, you know, these women, if you broke and you lose all your money, they're gone. They're out of there. We know that. We men know that. Because even at the we'll say at the pinnacle of your success, you guys are having problems. Y'all still arguing. Right? She still she still want to be a boss bitch. She still want to do all this crazy stuff, and you're trying to figure out why are we not happy when we have everything we need? Because women, in my estimated opinion, they don't know how to love. They're incapable of love. Women are incapable of loving a man. Why is that? Because she would never love you more than she loves herself. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So even when she say I love you, she's lying to you, nigga. When you have a sex with her and you tell her, me and you forever, she said yes. That's just for the moment, nigga. When she wakes up, she's like, whatever. These women are liars. They do not look at us in a way where we think they look at us. And this is our illusion. This is part of our illusion. Oh, she likes me for my character. She's really down with me. You know, I came home and then she did that. And then next thing you know, 3, 4, 5 years later, y'all divorced. Or you call her cheating. Or y'all always arguing about everything. This is the fact of the matter. This is the truth. Women are incapable of love. And this is why the happy wife, happy life is the only way to have a long relationship work. Because women are incapable of reciprocating love for a long time. They can't do it. It's only so much they can do. Then after that, it's fuck him. It's all about me. Women don't put nobody above themselves. Not even the kids. Not even the kids. She's always going to put herself first. Self-love is a woman's ideology. It's the same. If some have a child by somebody else and look at you to support it after they hear you're not the father. Yes. And women are notorious for this. How are you going to tell me you love me and you let me bust on you and you let this nigga bust on you? You let him put a whole load in you. But then you would say, hey, why are you fucking other girls? Women are incapable of love. That's just the bottom line. They are users and abusers. This is what the women are. We just have to face the reality, gentlemen. We just have to face the fucking reality. I know it's hard. I know ruthless truth is a little ruthless, but I'm gonna have to give it to you like I'm gonna have to give it to you. I can't see no other way. Believe me, if I can say there are plenty of good women out here, and I can give you a formula to get a good woman, I would give it to you. Well, I'm bringing a special guest up who's gonna, give me a little pushback. That's fine. Ruthless loves it. Let me give him a proper intro, though. Let me give him a proper intro. What's up, big baller?
What's up, big guy?
So you got good. You finally agree with me, huh? You finally agree with me?
That ain't never gonna happen. That ain't never gonna happen.
I had my fingers crossed when I said it, B-baller.
Yeah, I know you did. I like that. I like the hope. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna. I know that usually when I come out here, we go back and forth, and I end up over speaking. So I'm gonna let you just finish what you're saying before I start.
So all I'm saying, and just to give my assessment, first of all, let me say this. I am speaking from evaluation overall, not only from my anecdotal experience. Damn, I can't say. I'm also looking at all the information that social media has to offer, Google, etc. And I've come to the conclusion that women are incapable of love, especially long term. This is why they don't want to see us happy, because they care about only their happiness. I believe women are terrible long-term investments. They're just not. They're not a valuable investment because most men are losing on the return, right? At least 98 to 99% of men are losing on these returns with these women, right? Meaning they're not get the reciprocation or the reciprocity is lacking. Most women are, I believe, all women are underperforming in long-term situations. They're underperforming and under-delivering. And that's just my take on women in totality. Go ahead, B-Baller.
Okay, so I think to start off, we have to ask, what your idea of what love is, right? Is love being in a relationship long term? Because it doesn't sound like that's something that you're looking for. Is love having someone who you can lean on, that can lean on you? Because it doesn't seem like that. Is love having someone who will be equal parts of something? Because that doesn't sound like something that you want. So when you say that women only want what they want, it sounds to me like when you're looking for a relationship, you as in your capacity are only looking for what you want. And you're expecting the other side, you're expecting your partner to just be a puppet, right? You want something that's going to be there, that's going to look good on your side, somebody you can slide into. You're not looking for what would traditionally be considered love. So I'm trying to figure out what is the end game like for in your situation. You say you were married, right? Were you married before?
No.
You were never married. Okay. So what is love to you? Is it that you would have like those things that I just said, which is you just have some woman you can slide into that look good by your side, that'll let you protect her, that you make the money, because you don't want a woman who's going to make more money than you, or maybe who's even going to make any money at all until you say she can make money. And I'm just saying, if you step into a relationship like that, it's doomed to fail no matter what. Because women are gonna want some of the things they want. They don't want to do just what Ruthless Truth wants.
Okay. So are you done? Can I answer?
Yeah.
Or
No, we're gonna go back and forth. We good with it.
Look like you answered the question for me. You asked me a question and you answered it for me. So let me give my answer, right? First of all, earthly love to me is simple. It's reciprocation by definition, right? But I know that men and women, we have different standards of love, which we need to return to the person that we're with. So for men, our showing love is being a provider, protector, whatever else it takes to, cultivate a healthy relationship. And on a woman's side, their job is to be supporters, uncombative, and great followers, right? And then the last part, respect, right? So, respect entails all that. So, love to me is ultimately an action word, meaning your actions makes me feel loved. So, if you're not arguing with me, if you're showing appreciation, if you're being my supporter, if you're giving me the respect I demand, that to me tells me this chick loves me. And that is the foundation. No, I could then, I would say, deal with the other baggage that comes with them I could then be, I guess more motivated to deal with all those other things. So that's what love is to me.
Okay. So my next question is, if you were to just put yourself on the other side of that, because I think in order to go through something with a partner, you have to at least understand and recognize what your partner's feeling. Do you think if you were on the other side of that equation, you would feel good knowing that your partner doesn't want you to work, that you have to make less money or no money at all, that you have to follow everything they say, that he can cheat but you can't, or she can cheat but you can't cheat, that basically just follow your lead, and then if you don't do it, she's gonna dog you and say that you ain't shit?
Okay. Number one is if let's make it easier, if the roles were reversed, it was on the women to be the providers. If it was on the women to be the protectors.
Okay, hold on. Can I cut in for just 1 second? I don't mean to do this. So just so we know that those things that you say, the things you outlined, the who needs to be a provider, that's a ruthless truth thing. That may not be what everybody else says. I know you say that that's what men are supposed to, or that's what men want. It may be in the past that was what it was supposed to be, but I'm just saying that nowadays there could be men that don't want to be.
We're just hypothetical. We're just speaking hypothetical.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and we're reversing the roles on what the standard is, right? Mm-hmm. And that is, if I was looking for my woman for those things that she was looking for me for, I would then, if I did find a woman who's willing to invest in me, pay for all the dates and give and provide for me a lifestyle, and all I had to do is just be agreeable and follow her leadership and not argue with her and be appreciative and her supporter, I will 100%. And it's the woman I picked, and she's everything I want. Yeah, I will comply without a question. I will comply. Why would I want to take a risk with another woman, and she might be terrible at that? And this woman I got is she's meeting all those expectations that I'm expecting. Oh shit, I'm Gucci. And even if she wants, and let's say she said, look, I'm going to have another man here and there. So, and she's providing the financial stability for me, and she's giving me all these things. I have to accept that. I'm like, you know what? Because if I say no, don't do it, then I'm only she's going to do it anyway, right? Because if she's already said to me, well, I believe that, I'm going to give you everything I came to be, but I'm going to have a little extra on the side. I might go with this, or I might go with that guy, and I would say, okay, well, shit, if I leave her, and then also all the other women do the same thing. All the other women do the same thing pretty much. And women who don't do that are ugly, fat, and don't look like shit because nobody want them. Then I'm going to go ahead and just stick right here as long as it lasts, and I'm just going to continue to be the man that I signed up for, because I am a benefit. I am benefiting from her. So if she wants a little extra, I'm going to have to deal. I'm going to have to accept that if I truly love her and am a beneficiary of this woman. And now would I be maybe a little insecure? Maybe, yeah. But I'm going to, when she get home from work, whatever, I'm going to make sure her dinner ready. I'll make sure her clothes, I'm going to put on some fly ass shit and be like, hey, it's good looking, your man here. Then I'm going to dick her down. I'm going to be performing at the highest level continually. So because I know now I'm got to compete. Now she might be going and getting some on the side. I can't be slacking, right? Because she can replace me, right? And put another nigga right in my place. So I'm going to be putting it down. So in that being said, I will have to step my game up to make sure she's happy, because she's stepping her game up and because she's giving me what I expect, right? She's giving me the financial support, she looks good, all the things that I expect and all my expectations. So now I'm going to go above and beyond to try to convince her through my actions that she don't need another nigga. I'm that nigga, and baby, you don't need to go outside. But I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to, through my actions, go to hopefully convince her that I'm all she motherfucking needs. And hopefully, she changed her mind. But if she doesn't, I'm still going to perform. As long as the checks keep coming, as long as I keep going to the shopping sprees, and I keep, and then with me and her together, we're having a great time. We're doing our thing. I'm not going to leave, because this is the last point. I understand that the grass might not be greener on the other side, because all these women are known for having extra men on the side. So I'm going to work this out. I'm going to fight. I'm going to put my all into this, and my energy into this, to try to make sure this works. And then if she says, hey, I'm moving on from you, then that's when I have to exit, because she said, hey, look, I got another man take your place because I can. Okay, cool. I'm out. But I hang my hat, and I put everything I could into this to make this work. And it just wasn't good enough. And then off to the next woman, and then back to the same thing. That's what I would do.
So you effectively put yourself in the other person's shoes right now. The question is, could you do that? Could Ruthless Truth do that today? Let a woman make the money and you be happy because she keep you, because yes, when I listened to you yesterday, that's unacceptable. Men don't do that.
Well, once again, we reversed the roles. Now you want me to reverse the roles?
No, because you said that's a hypothetical. That's a hypothetical. Now I'm asking, could you actually, actually do it? See, okay, now here we go. This is the key to it, right? Because why can't you do it?
Well, number one is I'm providing the resources. I'm expecting her expectations. Hold on, I'm in a leadership position, and she has a demand or expectation that I'm meeting and matching. And if I want to have my cake and eat it too, that's what comes with being the leader.
So
if she goes down and try to get some extra, I'm getting rid of her.
So you don't think a woman can make more money than a man nowadays can, and be the provider?
Of course you can. Okay. Of course you can. But her making more money does not make her the leader, though. Right? I am the positional head of the house.
Okay. So as the leader, you still say that your position is that you make the most money. You have to make the most money as the leader.
I don't have to, but
you said that that's usually what men should do.
Women I dealt with are broke, so yeah. But I'm just saying, if she made more than me or equal, I would still come in and be the leader and tell this is how we're going to roll.
Okay, so what's the leader? Does it mean you just get to do what you want, or like I get you're the protector? We're the protectors. We're always going to be the protectors because we're the stronger species, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that is by default what you have to do. That's not something that you're bringing that to the table no matter what, unless you can't fight or you too much you're a coward. You're gonna always protect. That's just in our nature. The question is, are you willing to? It doesn't sound like you're willing to do anything of the other things. Like what is her role at that point in time? To just do what you want?
Her role is to be my supporter.
Which is what? What does that entail?
I'm laying it down. Be appreciative. Okay. Be as less combative as possible, and a great follower.
Okay. That's leadership to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there another way of leading?
No, that's a good way to put leadership. Now, here's the question for you. Okay. If that's all that it takes to do leadership, and she makes more money, is it that hard for you to be not combative and agreeable? Or does only she have to do that and you have to be the leader in that? Like she can't, if that's what makes leadership, she can't lead?
No.
Why?
Because our biological makeup is of that of difference, right? She is more wired to embrace her emotional inconsistencies, where I'm more wired to embrace solution, logical, rational things. So therefore, what brings balance to our relationship is I'm the rock, because in turmoil, in conflict, where she maybe lean more into her emotions because that is what her biological makeup is, I'm the balance because I lean into logic and solution. So therefore, I balance her out to say, okay, we got to stay, in a place where we can be happy and not and resolve this conflict and still be in a, I would say, stable, healthy environment. So that's why she can't have it, because if she leads, now I have to be enslaved to her emotions, because once again, women are enslaved to their emotions, and this is why the balance is I'm not enslaved to her emotions. I got to be enslaved to my logical and practical way of living and seeing this relationship through. So this is what qualifies leadership: the biological makeup of being able to be the stable, the solution based, the logical reasoning. Those things is what qualify leadership, not money.
Okay.
Only.
So, but you do understand why it's hard for you. It would be hard for you to have a real relationship because you define the opposition as these predefined constructs, these things that you've already mapped them out to be, and therefore you're saying that there'll be nothing more. You're saying no woman could ever be logical, therefore you don't have to ever listen to them, and that's why
No,
that
I
is
didn't say that. I
probably
didn't
why.
say that. B-ball, I didn't say that.
No, well, hold on. What you said
No,
was,
I'm just saying,
I,
just like you rejected, I didn't say that I'm never going to listen to them and they can't be logical. I didn't say that.
what did you just say? You just said that
I just said
you're the logical
in
one.
terms of conflict, women typically lean into their emotions more, and men in conflict tend to lean into logical and practical more. So this is what a leader, because even amongst men, right? Even amongst men, there's some men more emotional than other men. So all the men amongst each ourselves, you know what? We're going to vote the leader to be who's the most rational and less emotional person to lead us. We also got to be a tough guy and all that stuff, but he got to be level-headed. Even because I know dudes who are gorillas who are tougher than the leaders, who could take the leaders out with just their crush their hand, but they're going to make him a leader because they need somebody to thank for them when they get emotional. And then this guy, he makes the calls that are logical and with reason. Even amongst men, we do this. So definitely when you're with a woman.
I know. So, but you do understand that there's probably very few women out there that want to have a man think for them, and you're already stepping into these relations or these potential relationships saying that's what you have to have. I don't know of many women that are going to say that they're going to want a man to make decisions for them.
I agree with you 100%. But this is why the disconnect is so large. This is why the divorce rate is so high. This is why men and women aren't getting along on a large scale because of that right there, conflict of interest. Because women can't think logical. We're not saying that they can't think logical. We're not saying that women can't communicate. That's not what we're saying when we're saying this, right? But we do understand that women aren't the best suitors when conflict hits, right? So, or when things that are feelings wise, we understand that they need us men. This is, I think, the argument back in the day, covering the covering, right? Women had to be covered, but their dads, right? This is why when you go to war, you want to see a bunch of men, you want to see a whole bunch of women, because women are, when conflict ensues, they lean into those emotions, and emotions are not logical. Emotions are irrational. So, understandably, right, we as men are going to be always solution and logical based over the woman. And this is why the women are, like you said, they're going against this ideology. Because women want to be viewed equal or and it's sometimes higher than the men they deal with. So this is why we're having these. This is why he's having these conversations.
Right. They just don't want to be, they don't want to be following. They don't want to be led. They don't want to be treated like they're on a leash and you're the leader. And that's what it is. But even more importantly to that, you do realize that when you said earlier, you said this isn't the 70s or the, R&B, all of that stuff messed it up. So there's a new, this is a new age, right? And yet you're still thinking like you're in the 50s and 60s. You're still putting these labels on people and not giving them an opportunity to even prove you wrong. You walk in and you're telling everybody that women are still like this, and this. Even though women have changed, and what I mean by change, we clearly see they've changed it where they would, the fact that they want to be out there making money, but you're still talking about them as if this is the 50s and they should want to be led and that they should want to follow their men and not have jobs and things like that. You're talking about them as if we're in the 60s and 70s, but definitely saying that those days of you having relationships are gone. So there's that big gap. How is anyone ever going to be in a relationship? I mean, you're talking relationships out here when you're speaking online to people. And it sounds to me like you're just saying everyone's doomed, do what you want to do because it'll never be right because men are this way and women have become this way. And I know you're going to go, that's exactly what I'm saying, B-baller, but I don't know if that's true because
so let me help you. I mean, what you said was you paraphrased, but you were off. Number one is women haven't changed. Let me say this clearly. They haven't changed because women were always the way they were. It just the position of life has changed for them, right? And now that they're in a better position in their minds, they want to exercise liberties and rights that's been afforded to them, right? So women have always been, I would say, combative. Women have always been about self, right? It just never changed. It's just that survival of the fitted, back in the days, didn't allow them, right? They didn't have access to the resources. They were, like going hunting and killing lions or deer or buffalo to bring back home just wasn't their forte. Their forte was in the house, making it home, gardening, all that stuff, right? So that dynamic is what made us work together, right? They needed us for the muscle and the hustle. And they were there to cultivate the home so that when we got home, that, we were well fed or whatever. So now that's changed because we're in 2025 where we no longer women hunting or none of that's necessary. And you can make money in multiple fashions now without being educated, right? You don't have to be educated to make money now. Women now say, hey, we don't need to be like our grandmas and them no more. We don't have to do that no more. Because let me make this clear. Women know exactly what to do. If push comes to shove, if they need it to get back in line with the man and cater to a man to survive, get all the things they can do it. They can do it. They have full knowledge and full understanding. What Ruthless Truth is preaching is women don't give a fuck about that because they don't want to do it, right? And this is what I'm preaching. And I'm preaching mostly to the men. Because when I was on what was her name? I was on, what's her name? I was on her show and she asked me a question. I forgot her name, but I was on her show, right? And she asked me, said, Ruthless, why are you complaining about us women, right? Rogue. You know Rogue? A Rogue?
No, I'm sorry.
Rogue C? Okay, so anyway, she got a show. I said, check this out, boo-boo. I'm not complaining about who you guys are. You guys do you. You guys are living your best life. I'm not here to tell you. I'm not complaining about women. Women are who they are, and they're not going back to those things because they don't have to. For the men, I'm preaching to is we got to evolve and understand that these women are no longer going to be traditional. They're no longer going to cater to us anymore because they don't want to and they don't have to. So women with this newfound power they got, this tool of, manipulating the system, getting their own money, paying their own bills to a degree.
Yeah.
They are living in their truth. They're exercising their freedom, even though we know that a lot of them are struggling, but they're pretending to be free.
Sure.
So I am not anti this. Do you live your best life, girl? But men, I'm here to prove we don't have to marry them. We don't have to have long-term relationships with them to still get the things we want. Right?
What do we want? That's what I was trying to ask in the beginning, the whole happiness thing.
A lot of men want legacy, right? Well, we want that. But men, we're so traditional that men still want to get through the nuclear family settings. This is what a vast majority of men want. Marriage, one family household,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here to tell them that the women don't want that, and you're arguing, you're beating on a dead horse, right? To argue this point to women, hey, y'all, what you bring to the table, y'all need a man. Y'all need, you need to be with a man. Da, 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 da. And the women are not agreeing with that, and the women are not going to take that route anymore. And men need to accept the truth that the nuclear family in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be dead. And it's going to be co-parenting, which already is now, but it's going to be way more co-parenting. And we're going to have to deal with women from a business perspective, just like women look at us as a business perspective. So we're going to have to match their energy.
So I think,
So
I think the people that you're talking to, the people that you're online talking to, aren't the people that need to hear the message that you're giving. And here's why I say that, because what you tend to do is the information that you get, or the examples that you tend to get, are from people who are, and this is a word that's been used recently online, they're elite. They're elite. The Paul Pierces, the Bluefaces, the Krishans, all of these people make a hell of a lot of money, can have what they want, and it introduces a whole bunch of problems. For the average guy, he doesn't have to deal with that. He's not, I mean, on some level, there are women, obviously, that are gold diggers, and there are men that cheat. Like, there are things that go on, but not on the level of the people that you're showing examples of. And when you apply the situations of those peoples that you're showing examples of to everyone, it gives people the wrong impression of how women in general are. I'm not talking OnlyFans. I'm not talking the celebrities out there. When you're using them as an example to talk to the people who are just everyday people, I think you're kind of crossing things up. You can still find relationship. You can still find love. It just, and I'll say this too. It's going to require that if you're wanting women to come back home to being more traditional, it's going to require men to not to also give in a little bit. And I'm not saying give in total control, but they may have to, cook a little bit. They may have to learn to do those things. You can no longer expect to have a woman that has the potential to make all the money she wants to forego all of that and say, you know what, I want a man to protect me, and so I'm going to follow him and do whatever he wants and sit at home and cook and clean, because they don't have to do that anymore. You get mad at the women, but you should get mad because technology and society has changed. It was bound to happen. Whatever happened, women are now able to sit there and go out and provide for themselves and for you if you wanted to. If you were willing to accept that, women would be able to do that. You don't want the pendulum to swing all the way back. You have to find a middle ground. And I think it doesn't sound like you want to find that middle ground. You're waiting for that pendulum to come back to you, and it may never come back to you. It may never come back. That's all I'm trying to say is that.
So this is not what I'm looking for, right? I don't want them to come back. I am cool where we're at. I'm cool with women's transparency. I think women are better at being transparent now than they were back in the day. Back in the day, I thought they did a lot of lying, deceiving. They pretended to, they faked it till they make it. That's what that was, in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now in 25, these women let their nuts hang. They are transparent about what their demands are and their expectations. And I respect that even more than a lying bitch, right? So I am cool with this. I'm cool with the way they are, right? That's what you're going to get. I am not here to change women. And I'm not trying to change women. I'm not here to try to stop them for I would say the path they're going on. Because now with their transparency, I can clearly make a judgment on whether I'm going to deal with them or not. Right? Whether I'm going to deal with them short term or long term. I have that option because of their transparency. And to me, that is valuable. That is way more valuable than trying to guess and figure out and do tests. But let me see if she'll do this and see all this old shit with, okay, this is what it is. She says she wants to get a pair of bills. She want to have her girls' night trips, blah, blah, blah. I'm cool with that. We can, hey, baby, do you, boo. Now, I will make it aware there's something that comes with that, right? The bid 304s and all the shit they want to do. They got to understand that there's a consequence, long-term psychological effect that comes with that. As long as they understand that, live your best life. So don't get me twisted, Ball. I'm not here trying to have conversations with women to get them back to yesterday or days old. I'm here to tell the men that we have to embrace this woman, this new modern woman, and make the proper adjustments on how we're going to deal with them. Now, like I said, a lot of men are still looking for long-term investments in the women. And I'm here to tell men that is not the best or most suitable outcome due to the...
How do you know that?
Well, because this is what I believe. I believe women, because of the freedoms they got, are headed for a wreck, right? Because they lean in their emotions and feelings so much, right? They invest heavy in them things, right? That to them is part of their plight, right? Which makes this path they're on a wrecking ball, right? So any woman that you get right now, let's just say you get her, y'all have a 3-year toxic, because it's going to be toxic, because she's going to exercise her rights, whatever, right? You marry her, you have kids, the chances of her switching up on you is really like 96, 97%, because once again, like you said, the illusion of I can get my own money. I don't need really a baby daddy to do this. I don't need my husband to do this anymore. I can do this myself. Or even if he's doing everything for her, right? Aisha Curry. Oh, I want to be fucked by other men. Oh, I'm jealous of him. I want to have the attention. I should be the one getting attention, right? All that being said, they are wrecking balls, right? So any man who ties himself to a woman who leans on her emotions and feelings is hitching his wagon to a unstable, insecure, and very contentious individual, which is a very bad investment in my opinion.
So just so you know, those emotions and feelings that you talk about are usually what would keep a woman at home and not cheating on you. It's the emotions and feelings. It what makes men different from women. It's why you have no problem cheating on a woman if you had to, is because you don't have any emotions or feelings in the whole thing. It's what keeps women there. So while you're saying that they have emotions and feelings, you're also saying don't marry them because they will cheat on you, or because they make money, they'll cheat on you. And that might not be the case for the average man. And you cannot. I keep seeing you using the Aisha Curry as an example of that. It's a bad faith argument to start to have people believing that most women are like Aisha Curry or any other OnlyFans woman out there. All right, that's not the majority of women. So I think that
I would have to disagree with you due to the divorce numbers being high. So women are divorcing men 800,000 times a year. And that is an astronomical number. And that tells me a story, right? It tells me that they're making emotional calls, right? It's the way they feel. If they don't feel their happiness is compromised, they will leave. If their visions of where they think they should be in life is compromised with where they feel they should be in life, they're leaving you. So what that is telling me is majority of women, and then here's the last part before I go in there. And if the marriages are lasting, right? Mm-hmm. It's happy wife, happy life. There's just no other way to do it. So if it's not happy wife, happy life, and you're standing on it and being assertive and trying to put her in check, and I would guess correct her, she's going to leave you because she's going to feel trapped. She's going to feel you're controlling. She'll feel your toxic masculinity or your whatever the other words they like to use, right? And she's going. And then here's another thing: women are very easily influenced, right? Because of the internal conflict they have within themselves of insecurities and self-love and all these things internally. The outside voices, the Instagram, the social media, friend groups, girls, love yourself. You can do better. You don't have to put up with that. And then the rhetoric of women empowerment from just the media outlets, all the women, it influences her decisions, which says, mixed with the internal conflict, she's 97% chance she's going to leave you. And this is just my assessment.
I get it.
This is, in my opinion, a very accurate assessment. And through the numbers of divorce rates and the complaints in marriages by the men saying that sexless marriages and all the I would say contention. If you marry a woman, you are signing up for disaster.
Okay. So the whole marriage thing, we don't know why a lot of those marriages have dissolved. You're assuming that it's because it was an emotional woman that decided to do that. You're assuming that. And you're assuming that she might not have had a reason. And you're assuming that even if she had a reason, it is her job or her duty to ignore that and to just carry on. Like all of these assumptions that you have, they may not be right, or they may not be accurate, or they may just be wrong. Like, not something that unfair is what I'm going to say. So they may be inaccurate or unfair, right? But before you said that you were never married, right? You've not been married, right?
No.
So a lot of your thoughts come from what you see on the, like what you see out in what you see in the world. You speak as if you know how women are. You've never been a woman. You speak as if you know what marriage is. You've never been married. And what you're doing is you may be giving people, those people who have never experienced it. And I always talk about this as if you're talking to people who have never experienced it, because obviously there are going to be people that agree with you who have gone out and dealt with women who are either, who are bossy or who have left them for reasons or divorce. You're going to always find people who are in your camp easily online. But to the majority of other people who have never experienced it, you're giving them information from a point of view you know nothing about, just based on what you see from the most outspoken people on internet. Paul Pierce, like basketball players, like the last person that we should be looking at, anybody, are rappers and basketball players to find out what a happy marriage would look like. And that's usually what we're going to out here. The Aisha Currys, the Paul Pierces, the whomever. We shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I would never do that if I were looking to start a marriage or find a relationship with somebody that I want to be with.
So here's the thing, right? I'm not just going on that. And I preface that at the beginning of our conversation, that this is not only looking at the high, I also look at the anecdotal. Plus, I deal with a lot of people on business side of it. A lot of white guys, Asian guys, black guys, Indian guys that I've even before I came on these platforms, the complaints were loud and clear. I just really didn't. And I remember I had a buddy of mine. We used to work together. And he should tell me, man, him and his wife argue all the time. I told him, I said, man, well, maybe you should just take some losses. I really didn't understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my relationship, right when I'm dealing with him, my relationship was in the making. And see, this is what I do. And this is what I did in my relationship. I just don't have relationships just to have relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I'm giving the person, the woman that I'm dealing, a fair and impartial chance to get across that threshold. And through this, I'm evaluating, or when we're having a good time together, and I'm evaluating when we're in conflict. And out of those evaluations, right, I make careful assessments, and I give a lot of room for error. And then what happened when Kevin Samuel and them came out, when I found that stuff, and all of that, it just confirmed what I was already discovering. Right? Like my ex used to, I could be in a business meeting and she call my phone and I call out the meeting's over. She think I'm fucking everybody. Who you fucking? I know you fucking somebody. I was in the meeting. Oh, no, you, blah, 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 right? And even if I have proof, right? Things like that, right? This happened. This is very common. That's across the board, right? A lot of couples are into that thing, especially women. And I said to myself, once I saw Kevin Samuel and I listened to La Peeve, and I said, wow, this is what was confirming what I was already, not only in my life, but my associates, their complaints about their wives and how their wives are treating them and stuff like that. And I'm like, this shit is on par with the way women are. And you don't have 6 sisters, right?
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I have 6 sisters.
I have 2, and I have 3 daughters, so I'm pretty well versed in women as well.
Yeah, and I have a daughter too as well. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, wow, I had to get rid of all my ex. I'm the one who do the hiring and firing, right? And I don't like to get rid of, because I am a one who, if I really like her, I want to see it through. I really do. But through my assessment and my evaluation, I seen there's no way I can attach my wagon to this person any longer and have a peaceful, stable lifestyle, right? If I keep this person, because what I learned is the emotional roller coaster that she's going through has nothing to do with me. And I used to wonder, first I used to think it was me. I'm like, damn, but how the fuck that my fault when she's making assumptions, when she's making stuff up in her head? And I learned then, I said, oh, this battle's within her. The demons are attacking her. And her emotions are tied to her so much that she was emotionally unstable in our relationship that I had to say, whoa, 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 whoa. And every time it got so bad to where even when we go places and everything could be going good, we have no issues. We're having a great time. All of a sudden, she may drink a little liquor, a little margarita or whatever. And all of a sudden, she'll start spazzing out. Oh, you ain't shit. I know you fucking them bitches at your job. Duh, I can't prove it, but I'll find out. Blah, blah, blah. And I would try to walk away. I'm like, I'm not even going to get into that with you, because that is something that that there's no way that we can come up with a solution right now because you're not thinking right. I will walk away. When I walk away, it's, oh, you leaving me. You bitch, I know you're going to fuck one of them bitches. If I stay, then it's an argument, right? Why you ain't answering? Why you can't say shit? Because you know it, so you. And I'm like, whoa, can I do this for the next 30 years? Right? Can I do this? Can I hijack my happiness to deal with her emotional insecurities within herself for the next 20 years? And I came to the conclusion that I can't. I have to put me first. As much as I wanted it to work, I had to let it go. And let me land it right here. And this is why I believe the happy wife, happy life. And men also have and made it clear that they're willing to do what it takes because they really sold into the nuclear family aspect. So even though they're probably going through the same thing I'm going through, they're willing to put up with it and try because they want their one family, which is ideal. I'm not going to dispute that, right? The idea of having one family and shit like that. But the fact of the matter is women are still divorcing. Women, if they're not divorcing, they're creating in the house a hostile environment, right? And all this has everything to do with their internal conflict, which then puts you in an emotional entrapment, right? They entrap you in their emotions and hijack your happiness to make you deal with their unhappiness. And largely is they're unhappy with themselves. And because they're unhappy with themselves, they will take everybody else with them. Everybody else down with them. And they don't give a fuck. And this is, to me, the destructive behavior. This is something, if you want to attach yourself to for the next however many years, hey, that's you. If you can do it, fine. I'm not here to tell men not to get divorced. I'm not here to tell men who are married already to, hey, unmarried. No. If you can deal with it, fine. But me, ruthless truth, I'd rather die peacefully in my sleep than I don't want to die with a bitch next to me yelling about why she on a period and she can't act right.
I don't know. Listen, the whole period act right thing, I don't know much.
Oh, you heard about them when they get that period, how they have that mood swings?
No, I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay, that's what I like you saying.
What I'm saying is that if you're not willing to at least compromise, then I mean, I can see why you don't want to be in a relationship because it does require compromise, and it doesn't sound like you're willing to compromise very much.
Well, I will compromise. I'm not going to compromise my happiness. Now,
right? But here, just so you know, no woman's going to compromise her happiness here. Now, where do you stand?
Ooh, no, wait, no.
Do you want her to compromise her happiness? Is that what you're saying?
Her happiness doesn't exist because a large part of our problems came from her insecurities. I'm like, damn, she didn't like her kids. She did like she did. And she was a bad bitch, right? I'm like, and then she would ask me how I look. I think you look perfect. I don't want you to change nothing. I am happy with you. And that was not good enough. I was like, oh my goodness. But her parents, her family, oh, you fat. You this, you that, right? Because she put a little extra pounds. She fat, you this. And then when she lost all that weight and got in top shape, right? Because she looked good. She wasn't super, she was just maybe 5 pounds over. She lost that 5, then her ego came back alive. Now she got this bad bitch syndrome. Oh, it was just too much. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm telling you, I think women are better at short-term investments, short-term commodity. I don't see them deal in I would say a healthy situation long-term. It's just no way possible because they're so caught unstable in their emotions, and you can't control that as a man. You can't. You cannot control that. And it is bigger than you, right? It's bigger than them. So for me to take on that type of psychotic or delusional, what's the other word? Bipolar type of is just no fucking way. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional. That's not what I'm paying money for. I'm paying money for. I'm with her, and I'm paying for her to be my best friend. Just sum it up.
Can you at least can we start off with saying maybe you just chose the wrong person initially?
Maybe
you chose wrong.
No. This was all the way universal. You know, I have a lot of girlfriends, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I'm the woman whisperer. I took niggas' girls. I found my own girl. I've had fiancés. This is universally straight across the board. No matter what, and I'm gonna say this, and I truly believe this. When it comes to these emotions, right? I believe 100% of women are universally the same alignment when it comes to the emotional instability. I don't think there's no woman that is not under this type of format. So, yeah, do I think there's a woman that's different? No. When it comes to that, no. Now, there's some women more extreme than others. I give you that. Yes, there's some a little more extreme than others. But ultimately, you're going to have to deal with those emotions if you sign up for that. It's a big job, man. It's a tall order. It's a tall order.
It can be, I'm sure, if you pick. It depends on who you choose. Now, you say that you've been across the spectrum and you've seen them all, and again, you've said it before. It's anecdotal, right? And if I were to say I've never, in the women that I've dealt with that, you're going to say be baller. That's anecdotal, right? So if it's all anecdotal, then none of it's true. There's a gradient there somewhere in between that you could work with. But what I'm hearing you say is that you admit that traditional marriages produce the best outcomes. Am I correct? Or traditional relationships produce the best outcomes. Is that correct?
No.
You said that.
I say short term. I think women are better short term investments than long term. So traditional outcomes is all bad, right? It's just too much to. These things will, especially in 2025, because like you said to your earlier point about the women able to make their own money and do their own thing. So now they really don't need men like they used to, and they don't value men like they once used to. So now she's gonna leave. Even if you're faithful, even if you're loyal, even if you pay all the bills, she'll still leave you.
Okay, so what if I contest that they don't value men because of the message that you're putting out there? And I could be wrong on this. I'm not saying that. But what if I were to say that women don't value men because you still want women to believe that men have to make money, have a woman in her place, and her job is to make him happy and nothing more. Anything outside of that is like she can't be. This whole idea of she can make herself happy, you're not a fan of that. You like the fact that
that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on.
What I'm saying is a woman would never love you more than she loves herself.
But again, that's not an absolute. Not all women. You can say
absolute. That's absolute.
No, it's not absolute. You can't say that. See, this is where we go. So you say that and I heard your show yesterday. People can't use anecdotal, but then you're going to say something's an absolute when, again, you've never been a married person and you've never been a woman. You're going to say it's absolute just based on the people in your orbit that you've spoken to and what you've seen on the internet, that's an absolute with all women across the board.
Yes. I think women are selfish all across the board.
Right. You think that. I get that you think that, but
no,
it might
I know
not
that.
be true. No, you can't.
I know that 100%.
No.
100%.
It's anecdotal. You know that.
This is what I believe.
I know what you believe. You told me what you believe, but you have to admit that's anecdotal.
Women. No, this is universal. Women look for someone to take care of them, not for them to take care of somebody else.
It can't be universal because the thought process that you have is different than the thought process that I have when it comes to relationship. Nothing is universal. So you keep saying it's universal and it can't be. Even the fact that we have different opinions here means that no one can say all men are this kind of man because there are other kind of men out there.
I believe that everybody uses everybody universally. It's all about using each other. So we can't deny that. So I don't care how you want to frame it, how you want to put it. And women are the men. We're using them for what we want from them. They're using us for what they want from us. Now the difference is where the problem comes in is the women cannot maintain the return of usury that they're using you for. And this is where men are getting left with holding the bag. Oh, well, damn, I've been taking care of you, paying your rent, making sure this, and you're leaving me because you ain't happy no more, or because whatever the reason is you're leaving me for, what our wedding vows are real, true endeavor of till death do us part. Did you not believe that part? So
and most people follow it.
Huh?
And most people follow that. You go by what you do is you look at a percentage. Most people do. Most people do follow through with their marriages. Just because you see a percentage drop off doesn't mean that by and large that's what goes on. That is the majority of what happens.
I believe that once again, marriages that last in good works is happy wife, happy life, and there's no other way to do it. Okay. There's no other way for it to last.
Not compromise. Not everybody pitching in and doing their part.
Not compromising shit.
You're sitting there doing with the universals because you had some anecdotal.
Watch this. No, this is a fact. Women aren't. Listen. As a married woman, a couple married women on my
tell me
platform,
why it's a fact. Hold on. After you give this, tell me why it's a fact.
Because the married women that I've literally talked to, and I asked them, I said, "What? There's women that I know that their men are paying all the bills." And I asked them, I said, "Hey, won't you show some appreciation? Go run his bath water, so when he get in, he have a nice hot bath water ready for him." And they told me, "Why the fuck would I do that?" I also did a interview with like 40 women at the place I hang out at, and I said, "What I want you guys to do, we're gonna do a pay for 10 date challenge, right?" And these women have been married. They said, "Why the fuck would I do that?" He better be happy he getting his coochie. That's his return. I'm like, damn, these women cold. And these women are not, 3 or 4s. They're not out here doing they've been married for 15, 20 minutes. Like I said, why would you do that for your husband? Why would you not want to pay for 10 dates just to show your appreciation? Because he got this pussy. That's what he needs to understand. And this is a universal claim amongst, now I believe there are some outliers. There are some outliers, right?
They're probably the majority, though. You're sitting here saying they're outliers.
Yeah, majority. The outliers are those who are taking care of their men, but to dominate their men, though. Those are outliers, right? They're taking care of their men, and because they like the domination effect that they get. Like they might get a guy lesser than them, not make as much money, but they make sure that he worships the ground the fuck they walk on. Like that nigga he's just a yes guy, yes baby, yes. And those are outliers. Rest of the women. Go ahead.
Can you give me something other than the guys that I've spoken to, or I just showed you, such and such celebrity or influencer online? Give me an example on why it's an absolute fact. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ruthless, you can't. You can't.
Okay,
you keep saying it as if they're absolute facts, and they're basically just your opinions.
Well, I'm going to play this video real quick, and I'm going to let you respond. And then you respond to this video, and you argue with her.
Sounds like she knows what she wants, so, follow your heart.
Yeah. I think the reason why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people. They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in here.
I'm seeing all the faces behind you.
It's the truth. Honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Wow. She kept it. I told you she was going to keep it real.
And
you hear what happened there, though? But you see what happened there. Not even all the ladies in the audience agreed with her.
They agreed.
No, they didn't. She even said.
How you know they disagreed?
Look, he said, I know some of y'all, she said it, all right? So just because she feels that as a celebrity or an influencer and the people that she hangs around with, this is the problem. We got to stop going out here and saying things are absolute based on the people that are around us, all right? Because you're only going to be around a certain type of person. You're not going to know of anyone outside of you. You hang out with people who think like you, who are like you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna attract. It's called an echo chamber. If you want to be in an echo chamber where you assume that nothing else, like I am willing to say that what you're saying is true. There's some truth to that. They're out there, these women. You are unwilling to say that what I'm saying is true. That tells me that you are the one who is unwilling to actually look at the landscape the way it should be, which is there's probably the majority of people are not what you or I are saying, and we are talking about the outliers. Me as the married man and you as the person who never wants to be married, we're probably talking about the outliers. And somewhere in between, there are a bunch of people that hit this gradient of what we're not talking about. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay, so that's also what I'm trying to say.
It's fair to say that you're delusional. It's understandable, right? And long as you are
I know we weren't gonna call names. Okay, ruthless.
No. What I mean is delusional is it's not name calling you. It's just describing your inability to accept the fact that we're not going back to the old days. The women, this is a prostitution era. And
I don't disagree.
In the next 10 years, you will literally listen. This is why you can't approach women no more, because women, they want to dictate to you. They want to monetize themselves to you because they want to pick the guy who they think is capable of it, being able to afford them. And this is the dating market now. The women are dictating the dating market. This is why the average man is suffering in the dating market for us getting the numbers, because women are looking for guys who are capable of suiting the needs for the financial resources and for the things they think make their lives better. Now, you are, Big Baller, no, respectfully, an older guy who's married, who has family, who's made it are still in, I guess, route to the finish line, right? But you're coming from a place of a time when you was able to make that happen. And I'm sure you have some ups and downs in your marriages or whatever, right? I'm sure you're not going to admit that, but
absolutely no, I will admit that, absolutely. And some of the things that you say, and some of the things that you've outlined have happened,
right,
at some point in time, but it's not all the time. And what makes a relationship work is the ability to navigate through that and work it out.
Okay, and this is why I said the delusion, right? Because women have gotten worse since you last married, right? The women are not. It's happening way more than what it used to happen. See, that's where I'm saying that's where the illusion comes in, because the women now, and you outlined it in the beginning of my show when you came up and said, yeah, women make way more money, women have way more access. So this in part caters to their ego on why they are quick to leave men, why they're quick to talk trash on men and all this whole stuff, right? Or demand what they demand from men, because women are moving in a more independent mindset in 2025. So meaning women no longer value men the way they used to, because women don't want the man, they just want the money now, right? Women want to get the resources from the man and not attach the wagon to the man anymore. So this is the new era coming in, right? The last era coming in was they were still marrying him and just divorcing him, right? Yeah, I'm just going to get with him, get his money, get that paycheck, divorce his ass, and see what they give me. Now, women are going, this is why a lot of women are moving to prostitution. A lot of them going OnlyFans. A lot of them are stating up front, you want to go out with me? Yeah. Well, cash out me and I'll show up. A lot of these women are out here saying, hey, I'm looking for, if you want to have a relationship with me, I'm not paying no bills. If I'm in a relationship with a man, I'm not paying no bills. They're stating this up front. What they're saying is, we are for sale. And this is, so marriage in the next 20 years will be obsolete.
can you at least admit that the product of what women are there? It's a product of men creating that.
No,
No, we didn't. We don't. You don't state out here that a man should lead with his money. You didn't just state that earlier.
no, I didn't say that. What I said is that's the rhetoric. That to me is a stupid rhetoric. How can you tell men not to lead with money when 80% of a man's value comes from economic efficiency? That's a foolish statement to even put out there.
So how is it that we're out here on the internet always talking about high valued man and what he makes and how these high valued men can be able to get whatever woman they want? Why are we talking about that if that's not what the rhetoric that we use that we're talking about? Why is why is that on the internet?
Why are we talking about the high value man?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Kevin Samuel came up. We call it high value man.
Right.
I don't think there's such thing as a high value man.
Okay. So when we talked about Paul Pierce today, we didn't say that that men should lead with their money. That Paul Pierce lead with his money, and that we didn't use him as an example.
No, I said once again. I said this is why I think the don't lead with your money is silly, and I said Paul Pierce is a prime example of the more money and fame you have, the less valuable you become to women. Right? Because now they only want your resources. They don't care about you, right? So this is why he's like, well, and obviously he's an experienced man. He's been in the game for over 20 years, rich, NBA player, whatever. And he see that, damn, I don't even know how you tell all these women that I dealt with, and he dealt with them in being faithful. He dealt with them having multiple women. And the results that he's gotten is the women are no good. They just want to use him. And he said the only way you can see if a woman loves you, cheat on her, which is I don't think is a good statement to say. That doesn't mean anything. But I would say this: a man has no option but to lead with his wallet, because society standards already been set that a man's value 80% in 2025, 80 to 90% of your value comes from your economic success. If you broke, if you're making 50K, people look at you as broke, men and women. So
yeah,
if you don't lead with your wallet, if you just go on your character, and what are you gonna do?
You're gonna set the trend is what you're gonna do. If you really want to sit to set your value as a man, just like a woman does, you set what you want to do. If you want to follow what women are doing, then you keep telling men, or you keep saying that we have no choice but to lead with our wallet. I didn't lead with my wallet. Well, again, I can't use me obviously because I'm an old head and I'm not allowed to. But most people don't lead with their wallets. Most men don't lead with their wallets. There are men that do lead with their wallets, but most people don't. I'm sure that there are people out there that don't automatically just go spend on a woman.
But what I am saying is this, right? I will say this: you have no choice. If you don't even if you don't lead with your wallet, she's looking for eventually to reveal your wallet. Even if even if you don't lead with your wallet, she's gonna figure out if you got enough to keep. Now, are you gonna have enough to court her or be her? Listen, let me say this. If you do not lead with your wallet, let's say you pretend you're poor, you don't have shit, right? Which is stupid. But let's just say, isn't that an indictment on women that you got to pretend that you got money to see if she really likes you or not? It's not an indictment.
I don't think that when people are looking for relationships that they trying to find that we're leading with our wallets or not. We're just talking and having conversation. They're just trying to feel each other out. I don't. At least the way I see it is, when you meet somebody, you're trying to find out whether they have a good conversation. You're not telling them what you're making and all of those. If you're doing that, if you're going and your first thing you do is you take her to a fancy restaurant, then you're leading with your wallet.
But okay.
If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna say this woman I think is attractive, I'm gonna go take her to Ruth's Chris, then you are asking exactly for what you're saying.
Okay. Now, here's the problem. If you get, let's say you're dating a woman, depending on what caliber woman you're dating, right? Now, if you date a woman like this right here, right? Let's say a woman like this chick here, Sarah.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get her. You can't ever do it. You can't do it.
If you take her to Denny's, she's blocking you. She's not even. She's getting an Uber home immediately, right?
Okay, no, I get that.
Okay, I'm just saying. Damn. If you get a woman now, the only one you can take to a Denny's or In-N-Out, right? On the first date after you is maybe a fat ugly girl or a chick with low self-esteem who just got 8 kids, 6 different baby daddies. Yeah, then you can do that. But if you get any woman who's educated, who's valued themselves, and who are looking for the best of the best in men, you said it earlier here in our stream. You said women are looking for the best of the best man is suitable. That's going to quote you, especially in 2025, because women overvalue themselves, right? They say, for a man to want to take me out, a bad bitch like me out, he need to take me to this type of restaurant. I'm telling you, these women, if you tell them, because they're going to ask you, so where are we going to go? And you say, oh, we're going to go to the park and hold hands, they're blocking you. This is what happened in these days. And here's another thing you understand. Everything's public information. A woman can look up your worth, net worth, everything now. Ain't no more, pretending. You can just look it up. Everything's on Google. Because it's all public information, all of it. So you're not getting over on women like you once was, right? You're just not doing it no more. If you're going to be with a woman, but once again, this is an indictment, right? That women, niggas, for you to try to get a decent relationship, you got to lie about your worth. You got to lie about who you are. You can't be true to who you are because let's say this, like me, I got exotic luxury car. I got a $150,000 luxury car. It's a performance car. You know what I'm saying? BMW. Right? I gotta go to the car rental place to get a Honda to make and take her out for like 3 months in that Honda to see if she really liked me. That's telling me I can't be who I truly am. I gotta fake it to try to make it. So that's an indictment on women. Yes, because you just said, well, don't leave with your wallet. The only way I'm not gonna leave with my wallet, B-baller, I'm definitely gonna pick her up in no luxury car. I definitely can't wear no designer. I definitely gotta wear some old ass shoes.
No. You've decided a long time ago that you're always gonna lead with your wallet. For you to get a $150,000 car, you're leading with your wallet. You're letting everyone, whether you're dating or not, know that you are riding around in a $150,000 car.
Hold on, I've been poor most of my life. What the fuck are you talking about? I've been rich all my life.
Well, okay, but you're riding around with a $150,000 car. That says
listen, I got out of prison in 2013. I was broke, dead broke. Okay, and I couldn't get a date with a woman. And I'm a good looking dude, man. I was shocking to me. It took me a while to understand why the fuck. Because when I was in high school, before I got money, I used to always have a lot of women. Always, right? Always. Never had a problem. But 2013, when I got out of Chino, I was like, what the hell? Where all the women go? Then I would try to talk to them. I would meet them. And as soon as I take them out, they would like ghost me. They would do that. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh shit, I'm broke, nigga. I'm talking about like, hey, they're like, what are you gonna pull up in? We catch the bus, meet at they said, what? Yeah, we catch the bus, meet at the restaurant. I'm gonna catch the bus, and they would block me, they would ghost me. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I realized I had to get my economic status up a little bit. Get a job, get a decent car, get some things. Then I started getting there a little bit more. But even then, I couldn't get the top dog women. I had to get like chicks with, lower chicks, real insecure. There's chicks like that. They were the only one I'll pick them up like a Honda, had a Honda Accord, and they would be underwhelming, right? So bottom line, what I'm saying is, women, because they set the market on what they expect from a man. And there's too many men out here that are willing to do what it takes to be in the presence of these women. They won't settle for less. Now, you may get lucky and get some coochie if she's horny, but you to be their woman, them to be with you long term, you got to be economically efficient. There's no other way around it, B-baller. You can't be broke and poor and have a nice looking woman on your arm and y'all going out to Denny's. It just isn't happening. It's not happening.
No,
it's not happening.
But you still doing this. You're still taking the extremes on both sides and trying to swap them and see if it works. You can't take an internet baddie like you just see, like you have on the screen here, and then try and get her Denny's, and then say, or if you can't do that, now you got to go to some fat, broke, ugly chick. You can't do that. There's women in between. There's that gradient that you refuse to look at. You don't have to be. You could be a poor person and not get. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you can't get a good-looking woman who you can marry. She won't look like the girl you have on online, but if that's who you're looking to get, that girl online up there that we see in the picture that you have here, that example, if that's who you're looking to be, then you deserve to have whatever she has in store for you because you've led with you're leading with your wallet.
Okay, let's hear what she has to say.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make $50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no.
Wow.
Ruthless. You do realize you guys.
She's not even the top bitch. She's not even the top.
But you up here, but you're listening to her as if her opinion means anything. She's gonna do that. I don't listen to them, and now you're listening to them, and you're like
you're married. It's understandable. I would listen to bitch if I was married too. The fuck?
I have kids of the age. The fuck?
Yeah, but I'm saying is you're not dating your kids.
No, but my kids are dating. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, and your daughters want the best. They're not taking no.
I have a son too.
And he's not getting no top woman.
How you telling me? See, again, you're not telling me how now you're telling me you're giving me anecdotal things about the family that I've lived with, as if I can't do that because you're trying to.
That's what I'm saying. How old is your son?
He's 18.
Okay, so he's damn, he's fucked for a little while, right? He had it good in high school. Now, if he has a relationship, it's going to end. It's going to end shortly.
Okay.
Because women, they're going to be like, hey, pay my bills, and he's not ready to pay no girl's bills right now. And he's going to be half into. Does he play sports? Is he good looking? Does he have some talent?
He's good looking. He plays instruments. He's going for law. He's already had a girlfriend, and she was looking to be a lawyer. Like, you don't know what you're talking about when some of the times when you say this stuff.
Okay, he might.
Okay, we're all getting lucky. Everybody's getting lucky. Everybody else you're talking about.
Because if he's going to law, she's going to ask. So what are you going to study? They've already had that conversation. So potential. But how long is she gonna wait for that? That's the question, right? Women ain't too much. They ain't trying to wait. They're gonna like, okay, well, meet me when you're done. But we'll see. I guarantee. I'm about willing to guarantee that they're gonna break up within the next 2 years because that's what women do.
Okay, and this is what you do. What you do is you preach doom and gloom based on what some goofy ass chick online says because she thinks she's that she's worth all the shit she does, and she wrecks lives. She starts to talk about it, and then you will relay it, and then say that everyone is fucked. But the only reason that they're fucked is because you're out here pushing for it. You're pushing that direction. You say that things have changed so drastically and we can never get back in the relationships, and then you push it in that direction. You tell them that it's impossible. It's impossible to do it. Don't do it. You're all fucked. all women are this. They only care about themselves. You push it in that direction, and then you sit there and complain about what it's turned out to be.
No. Okay, so now you're trying to get it got you. I told you we're not complaining. What are we talking about? I just told you I was
complaining about what women are, though.
We're happy. No, we're happy the way women are. I'm not tripping.
Are you kidding me? Well, the way you talk about women out here,
I told you I'm not against the way women are. I love the transparency that they're leaning into. They're no longer pretending, and I understand that I'm dealing with gold diggers. Okay, cool. Let's get to it. I'm not complaining. Life is what it is. What I'm gonna do? Kill myself? Nah, not that.
No.
I don't need. Listen, let me say this. I don't need. I'm valuable with or without a woman. Let me make that clear. I do not need a woman to be valuable in my eyes, right? So, granted, I am attracted to women. I deal with a lot of women, but I don't need them to feel special, or I don't need them to make me feel like I'm somebody. I am a person of value with or without them. And men need to understand that's what it is. Hey, yes, we don't need women. We do not need women.
You don't. There are men that do. What you're doing is projecting.
No, what I'm doing is saying I'm preaching to the men who think like that so they don't get dog walked.
You're talking to everybody.
This is the problem. Men are delusional. Oh, I need me a woman to make me valuable. Nigga, you stupid. You don't need no woman to make you valuable. And this is the problem in these conversations. The women are acting like they don't need men, and the men acting like they can't live without women. And this is why the women are charging the prices they're charging. This is why they dog walking niggas left and right, because they think, oh, this nigga think he need me. So guess what? Give me your wallet. Niggas stick up.
Yeah, you're reading it wrong. You're reading it the way you want to read it.
I got it right. Oh, I know I'm right about it.
No. Again, we agreed that we're on two opposite ends of the spectrum, and I don't think you're reading it wrong, right? And you don't think I'm reading it right. So somewhere in the middle is the truth.
You're not in the life that I'm in. That's why. You're married. You're in a situation where you're established. I'm out here enjoying living a life and doing what I do.
But you're different. Here's why you're different.
But I'm having the conversations.
Right.
What I'm saying, I'm having a conversation and I'm seeing the climate beforehand, my very eyes. And you're not, right? You're married. You're not out here dating these women and dealing with these women at all. You might looking from out, all looking like, oh, I see couples and I this, but you're not understanding what's going down behind the scene. When I got the first. I'm in this motherfucker seeing what's going behind this. I'm like, God dang, these women are savage. But hey, I'm gonna end the show. Thank you for coming, B-Baller. I will do another stream tonight. If you want to pull up, you're always welcome to my platform now. Ruthless Truth does not want an echo chamber. I love to have pushback. I love the pushback B-Baller gave me. Okay? I'm not here saying, hey, B-Baller, it's how B-Baller thinks. I think it's a little out of date, but hey, you know what I mean? That's just another, we have to talk about that later. But thank you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and y'all have a good day. Until next time.